Thousands of years ago, right in the middle of the Egyptian desert, the very first massive stone structure in history rose up. The pyramids, one of the greatest mysteries history has ever known. How were they built? And why, to this very day, has no one been able to replicate them with the same incredible precision? Was it simply engineering genius? Or is there a deeper, bigger mystery hidden behind those monumental stones? In this journey, we're going to travel back thousands of years and uncover the incredible story of how the pyramids were built, step by step, from a simple mud brick structure to the biggest, most perfect pyramid history has ever seen. But first, take 1 second, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Seriously, most people watch without hitting like, so give us a quick thumbs up and share this video. It helps us out a ton. In every corner of Egypt, there's a secret that tells the tale of a civilization that still blows people's minds today. And of all those secrets, none is stranger or deeper than the riddle of the Great Pyramids. The more we try to understand them, the more we find ourselves trapped in an even bigger maze, a labyrinth between solid historical fact and crazy urban legend. When you first hear about the pyramids, you'll be told they're just gigantic tombs built by the pharaohs a long time ago. A simple story. A king decides to build a massive tomb for himself. When he dies, his son comes along and builds his own, and then his grandson finishes the job with the third one. Suddenly, we have these 3 pyramids, immortalized by history, standing as a symbol of human ambition and creativity. But when you look closer, you realize it's not just a matter of stacking stones. It's an architectural and engineering marvel that scientists still can't fully explain. We're talking about blocks of stone weighing tons, lifted to towering heights, and aligned perfectly with the stars as if they were drawn with a laser. And that's where the real mystery begins. How exactly were the pyramids built? Did the ancient Egyptians really build them all by themselves? Or was there another, older, and perhaps more advanced civilization behind this whole secret? A lot of theories have been thrown around. Some say the pharaohs were just heirs to a structure older than their own time. Others insist that the true builders were an off-world civilization that chose Egypt specifically because of its perfect, balanced location near the planet's center. So, what's the true story of the pyramid builders? In the beginning, the ancient Egyptians buried their dead in a very basic, traditional way. A simple pit, some rubble, and a few mud bricks to protect the body. But then, the concept started to evolve. They wanted to build stronger tombs to protect the deceased and all the valuables they were buried with. Over the years, the flat, rectangular tomb called a mastaba became the standard shape for burial sites. But then a game-changing king came along, King Djoser. He thought outside the box. He said, "Why build just one flat layer? Let's build several layers on top of each other and maximize the protection." The builders warned him, the higher it gets, the less stable it is. And that's where the brilliant breakthrough idea came in. They built the stones at an incline in a stepped, layered way. This would result in a supremely stable and strong structure. The genius of this shape is that it saves labor. Once you reach half the height, most of the work is already done. Djoser implemented the idea and built 6 stacked stone mastabas, the world's first pyramid. After the success of that first pyramid, Egypt entered a new era. The pyramid wasn't just a tomb. It was now the ultimate symbol of the king's power and divine majesty. As the years went by, an ambitious king named SNEFERU took the throne, the founder of the 4th dynasty, one of the most powerful in the Old Kingdom. SNEFERU was different. He didn't want to copy his predecessors. He wanted to build a pyramid that would prove his era was better than all the rest. He assembled the largest team of builders and engineers possible. Construction of his first pyramid began in the Midam region. The location wasn't random. It was close to the capital and had a solid rock plateau, meaning the foundation would be strong enough for the massive weight of the stone. They started building on Djoser's tiered design, but with one crucial modification. They decided to build the burial chamber inside the pyramid itself, not deep underground. It was a new, high-stakes move. Years of labor, thousands of workers, and massive stone blocks went into it. But when the pyramid was finished, King SNEFERU was not satisfied. He moved the capital to Dashur, marking the beginning of a completely new engineering experiment. The engineers decided to use a very steep 58-degree angle of inclination. It looked imposing at first, but over time, disaster loomed. The foundation wasn't solid enough. The stones began to shift, the angle became dangerous, and the pyramid was at risk of collapse. They had to act fast. They changed the angle of inclination midway to a more stable 43 degrees. Construction lasted for about 14 years, resulting in the famous bent pyramid, the first serious attempt at a smooth-sided pyramid. But still, the king wasn't sold. The bent pyramid was a huge step, but it wasn't the final form. This led SNEFERU to decide to build a third pyramid, writing a new chapter in architectural history. The engineers first chose a new, perfect site in Dashur, making sure the ground was solid and the foundation was strong. No soft sand, no dangerous slopes. The goal was to build a flawless pyramid from the very first stone. The engineers had learned their lessons. They built the stones in regular, horizontal rows. The stacking was precise, the angles were calculated, and every stone was placed with utter care. They then polished the outer edges for a smooth, consistent look. The work went on for many years, relying on thousands of workers, primitive tools, and superhuman effort. But the final result was truly amazing. The Red Pyramid rose majestically, completely free of engineering errors. This pyramid became the first fully smooth-sided pyramid in history, reaching a height of over 100 meters, 340 feet. At the time, it was the tallest stone structure in the world, a huge leap in ancient Egyptian architecture. Finally, the king was pleased. From that moment, the Red Pyramid became the blueprint. Every king that followed learned from this masterwork. The engineers had left behind a perfect design that has stood for thousands of years. This was the prelude to a new era, the Age of Khufu. After SNEFERU's death, his son, King Khufu, took the throne. He was determined to build the biggest pyramid of all time. It was a colossal project involving thousands of workers and engineers. He chose the Giza Plateau, a high, rocky location with strong ground, perfect for massive construction. The project began, lasting for over 20 years. Every single stone was placed with precise calculation. The pyramid rose with astonishing speed. Stone blocks weighing tons were moved with nothing but primitive tools. This pyramid was, without a doubt, the tallest building in the world at the time, standing at 148 meters, 481 feet. It held that record for about 4,000 years. People today look at this and honestly think it's beyond human capability. And that's where the legends came from. Some said that extraterrestrial beings built the pyramids. But the true story was one of genius-level intelligence, organization, and backbreaking effort that lasted for decades. Khufu literally wrote his name in stone. In the middle of the desert, the Great Pyramid became an architectural masterpiece that stands to this day. After Khufu came his son, King KHAFRE, who decided to continue the legacy. KHAFRE began building his own, known as the Pyramid of KHAFRE, the Middle Pyramid. Even though it's about 10 feet shorter than Khufu's pyramid, it was built on slightly higher ground, which makes it look taller. The surprising difference was KHAFRE's construction style. Instead of workers polishing every side of every stone block, they focused only on leveling the outer surface. This saved years of time and effort and gave the pyramid a more elegant, uniform look. Next came King MENKAURE. He decided to build a smaller pyramid, but one with even more precise design. His pyramid reached a height of about 215 feet, but its lower section was cased with beautiful pink granite stone. The three pyramids at Giza weren't just tombs. They were a story of human and scientific development that lasted over 700 years until it reached its absolute peak, becoming the ultimate symbol of the pharaohs' civilization. Now, let's circle back to the strangest and most famous theory that has truly puzzled the world. Did aliens really build the pyramids? Ever since scholars began trying to figure out how the Egyptians moved all those millions of massive stones, crazy questions started popping up. How could they lift a stone block weighing over 2 tons? And how were the astronomical alignments achieved with a precision that seems to surpass modern technology? Some researchers argue that the answer isn't even Earth-based. They suggest that an advanced alien civilization landed on our planet during that time and provided ancient humans with science and knowledge that simply didn't exist then. They back this up with controversial evidence. First, the orientation. The Great Pyramids are aligned with the true cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, with an error margin of less than 1/15 of a degree. That's incredibly difficult to hit, even with today's instruments. Could people from over 4,000 years ago really do this without any advanced tech? The second piece of evidence is the Orion correlation theory. The layout of the three pyramids perfectly matches the positions of the three main stars in Orion's belt in the sky. The same angles, the same distances, the same spread. Many believe this is no coincidence. Proponents of the alien theory also ask, if the Egyptians built them alone, where are the tools they used? And why haven't we found any clear, step-by-step blueprints or instructions detailing the construction process? These questions are truly thought-provoking, because despite the thousands of years that have passed, there is still no definitive, fully confirmed explanation for the exact construction method. This is what keeps the theory alive today. But the final question that still occupies minds is this: if aliens did build them, why did they choose Egypt? And why did they suddenly vanish without leaving any direct, physical trace? While the alien theory is exciting and imaginative, mainstream scientists have a completely different view. They argue we don't need to look to other planets to explain the genius of the ancient Egyptians, because the truth is more amazing than the fiction. In recent years, archaeologists and engineers have been able to crack a huge part of the construction puzzle. They've discovered that the Egyptians used massive ramps made of stone and clay. They built the ramp alongside the rising height of the pyramid. The higher the construction went, the longer and steeper they extended the ramp. Furthermore, scientific analysis of the stones suggests that many were not carved from distant quarries. Instead, they were artificially formed from a mixture of ground limestone, water, clay, and calcium, then poured into massive molds right at the site. The Egyptians invented a primitive type of stone concrete thousands of years ago. Modern science also confirmed that the Egyptians had incredibly accurate astronomical knowledge. They did know the directions with precision because they used the polar stars to determine true north, and they used the shadow of the sun to measure angles. So, there's no supernatural mystery. There was just unmatched science, incredible determination, and organization that was unique among all civilizations at the time. This naturally explains the precise alignment with the stars of Orion's belt. All these discoveries confirm that the builders of the pyramids were not alien beings. It was the Egyptian human mind when it decided to challenge the impossible. And in the end, whether you're convinced by the alien theory or by the genius of the Egyptians, the fact remains that the pyramids still hold their magic. They still make everyone who sees them ask the same question that was first asked thousands of years ago. How? And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Let us know in the comments what you found most interesting about today's topic. And if you have any strange or historical secrets you want us to cover next, drop your ideas down below. If you're new to the channel, check out our older videos. You'll find a lot of subjects you'll love. And don't forget to support us with a like and share this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.